Yesterday, we took a look at the offense's first drive of 2025. Today, we look at the defense's first drive from the opening preseason game in Arizona, and we get a glimpse of what this Kansas City Chiefs team is going to be in 2025. What does this new defense look like? With some of the changes that they've made, like letting Justin Reed walk, you got new rookies, Omar Norman-Lott, Ashton Gelati, Jeffrey Bossa. So let's see what this Kansas City Chiefs defense can bring to the table in 2025. Okay, very first play from scrimmage for the Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be a run play. And this matchup right here puts Jaylen Watson in perfect position. Jaylen Watson immediately passes off the receiver. He's playing zone. He's playing the flat route right here. And so he's already looking this way into the backfield. This motion sets him up perfectly to play this run play to the left side. So he's going to pass off the receiver, immediately looking for the run. They hand the ball off, and Jaylen Watson is already there. Very minimal game. Back to the top of this play, just to show one more time that really this motion hurts the Arizona Cardinals in this or on this play. You look at Jaylen Watson, he's got his hips turned towards where the play is going. He does a really good job at just staying home. He knows that the flat zone is his zone anyway, so he's going to immediately pass off this wide receiver, and he doesn't react too quick. I mean, or overreact on this play of staying at home for a minute, and then as soon as he recognizes it's a run, he's on him. And Jaylen Watson has been such a solid corner for the Kansas City Chiefs over the last couple of years. I think the injuries is really all that's held him back. And again, going back to the rest of the defensive line, just a good job with a run fit right there. Nick Bolton is coming on a blitz. He's got the middle. Everybody crashing down, so James Conner has no room to try to bounce it back inside if that's what he wants to do. I mean, obviously he's Jaylen Watson on the left side, so he's trying to bounce it back inside. But Jaylen Watson really makes the play, but the defensive line also helps out big time on that play. So next play that we go to, we're going to get a pass play, good coverage across the board, and Kyler Murray is going to have to run. He scrambles on this play for maybe a yard or two. And the defensive line plays this very well. Obviously, the coverage was great, and why Kyler Murray had to get out of there. Not getting any pressure, but just like a couple of weeks ago with the George Karlaftis film breakdown, here he is again, doing the same thing that we saw on film from last year. He recognizes it immediately, turns around, disengages with his block, and is going to get around to come help make this tackle. Mike Dana does a great job as well doing the same thing. He's disengaging, and they're just going to meet in the middle with Kyler Murray for really nothing. So good play by both Karlaftis and Mike Dana with the recognition. And in the AFC, I mean, you got to deal with a lot of running quarterbacks. You got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. The list goes on. I guess off the top of my head, I can't think of it. C.J. Stroud can run. But either way, you know, the Chiefs are used to dealing with a quarterback that will do this. So I think that they've become pretty good at recognizing it, and they're able to get Kyler Murray for not much. Maybe it was more than a couple of yards. But either way, they do a good job with the recognition. They get to him before any of the linebackers can that are out there in coverage. And again, the coverage, let's look at that real quick. They do a good job. You got two receiving options on each side for the Cardinals. Defense, they just have everyone accounted for right here. You got Chanel over here in between two receivers, as well as McDuffie ready. This guy's covered. You got Watson over here right there, and Shamari Connor ready if anybody goes deep. Brian Cook is waiting for the progression, see if anybody's going further, and he's looking like he's getting ready to come back down on this play. So also good recognition by Kyler Murray. He knows he can't sit back there all day. Gets out of there. As I think Chris Jones will start to get a little bit of pressure on this play. Isn't able to get to him. Obviously double teamed. Nice job from Mike Pennell. That was Mike Pennell that got deeper in the pocket. So good recognition from Kyler Murray, but good job on the defense for doing everything that they needed to do. And Kyler Murray, he had a couple of good plays right here on this drive. So we'll start here. Kyler Murray makes a good read, wide open. Just couldn't get to him quick enough. Shamari Connor initially going with the, was that the tight end or somebody out of the slot out there in this bunch that they end up running off of the motion. A little bit of press from Chamari Connor. The only thing I'll have to say, and I get this is his zone right here for Chamari Connor, but I think what you'd like to see on this play is Chamari Connor has this press right here, release, and immediately pass him off. Because what we're getting is just over the middle. He sits down somewhere right here on this route, heading to Bolton, and Bolton's ready for it. Well, he's expecting him to cross all the way. So they've already got two linebackers in that space. You'd like to see Chamari Connor slide over and take the route that was hit. So Chamari Connor kind of at fault on this one. Gives up the opening. That's McDuffie down here. He's starting to take the deep route. Passes off to the safety. Maybe have a bigger play you could have made. I think already thrown at that point, though. But something the Chiefs are going to have to watch out for, I think. Which, we'll see different stuff from them in the regular season. But this play blown up. Chamari Connor, he's facing the wrong way. With that going through his zone, now this becomes Chamari Connor's man, and he's the one that ends up making the catch. McDuffie is close enough that I understand why Kyler Murray would make that throw. But maybe a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson makes that throw for something deeper down the field. All right, so now let's see what the defensive line did on this play, and that is one thing that I think the Chiefs have had trouble with, is getting enough pressure. Steve Spagnuolo is great at designing these wonderful blitzes in the key moments, but when you're looking at, first, second down, somebody throwing, not a lot of pressure there. No pressure there, really. You get Chris Jones that's Omenihu in the middle. I don't know if Chris Jones was out here on this play. Yeah, he's on the left side. Chris Jones passes off the guard, gets the center, makes a good block. Again, no pressure at all, and that's part of it. You're not hurrying that throw up, waiting for it to develop. You get a similar thing on this play. So the next play, similar things kind of happening on this play, as although on this one I feel like Leo Chanel preemptively, went to the next man. Because he's kind of getting beaten in his zone right here as he's passing this off. Maybe the safety could have helped a little bit. Already pretty deep, though. Good job, though, on the recognition right here. You see him immediately coming down as this play to Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting ready to be made. But Leo Chanel has two guys that's kind of close to him. He tries to pass off Marvin Harrison. Somewhat follow, but stay in his zone, which is good. It's what you want to see. But if he could have got a little bit deeper on that zone, maybe could have prevented this. But a good read by Kyler Murray either way. See that safety is up there. That's Brian Cook that was deep. So Brian Cook, good recognition to see what was about to happen. So you can kind of see his feet. He's gone now. But immediately starts to run back down. Let's see if we can kind of time this up to where Kyler Murray's at, where he throws. And if Cook was moving before that. So we go back here. So Murray starting to step up, getting ready to start his throwing motion. And it's about that moment that when he sees Kyler Murray, if he can see Kyler Murray all that way, Brian Cook, as soon as he starts stepping up to start his throwing motion, Brian Cook is ready to crash down. Just too far on that play. Arizona Cardinals do a good job on that play. Kyler Murray makes a good read. Here's another one that was interesting to me, or it jumped out to me as I was watching this film. Now let's see if I can find the part, because Jack Cochran is back here with a shoe in his hand. What's going on here? James Conner loses a shoe as he's going through the hole. Pretty good run defense right here. Couldn't make the tackle, though. And, you got to wrap up. You got to get those hips. Cuts back, James Conner does. So this one a little bit different than the one that we saw earlier. Cochran is stuck on 73 on this block. And George Karlaftis does his job. He stays at home. We talked about that a lot in his film breakdown from 2024. Maybe would like to see him crash down on this a little bit, but if James Conner, is able to go even further. If you're already crashing down on that, probably get out of there pretty easy. I mean, Karlaftis is a very good tackler, but right there starts a little low, I think, for it. I mean, you'd like to think if you grabbed a guy's ankle that instead of getting a shoe, as there he is looking around, instead of getting a shoe, you would bring him to the ground. But James Conner, very athletic runner, and does a good job to get through there. So first game of the preseason, not going to worry about it too much, but maybe the tackling a little bit, work on a little bit for Cochran, as he's been the backup Mike really the last couple of years. I mean, they've had Tranquil kind of take over, but he's the guy that kind of gets put in the mix, and why he is in this game as Drew Tranquil was out for this game. But again, just a little low. Once he makes contact, it's about at the knee, already sliding down. So get like a little bit higher. Try to get I always think of it like a takedown in MMA. You get your hands wrapped around at least the other foot, trip them up in that situation. So a little bit on the tackling right there, to a little left to be desired, I guess. And then we get the turnover. So the Chiefs, very much a bend but don't break defense over the last years. That's a Steve Spagnuolo defense. And right here they do just that. Jaden Hicks does a great job on this play and reading it. And we talked about this a lot, just the instincts of Jaden Hicks on his film breakdown. So through all of the film breakdowns that I did over the offseason, I did 7 different players. You can check those out on the channel as well. I'll leave it at the end of the video if you're still here. I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button for me. We are on the road to 500, and we are getting dangerously close to that mark. I really appreciate you guys. So let's continue breaking down this final play of this first drive. It's a play action that Kyler Murray gets out here. Now, Murray has 2 options, and he obviously just doesn't see Jaden Hicks right here, because I think that this is probably the smart option. You got this coming across, and that's where Kyler Murray is going to attempt to throw this football. But Jaden Hicks, again, does a great job at reading it right here. He falls a little bit deeper into his zone, and I'm assuming, he's looking at Kyler Murray the whole way. I'm assuming he's reading his eyes the whole way, right? And does a good job as soon as he gets into that throwing motion and he sees where he's going. Look at Jaden Hicks with that head turned towards Kyler Murray, and as soon as he sees him step up to throw, he starts shifting his hips right there to turn around and put himself in a position to make this play. Great job by Jaden Hicks. I mean, and if he doesn't do that, you got a good shot to maybe make that play. Let's see who it is that he tries to get that ball to. I think it's Marvin Harrison Jr. that he's trying to get it to. You got one guy deep taking the safeties. Marvin Harrison. That's a play Marvin Harrison can probably make if Jaden Hicks isn't right there. I mean, to where that ball is. Let's go back just a little bit. Yeah, there's the ball already. Where that thing's going might be a little bit off for Harrison, but in Kyler Murray's head, he put it in a place where he thought only his guy could get to it, and he didn't see Jaden Hicks creeping up, further up out of his, what would have been his assignment, or was his assignment, was the tight end creeping out. Let's see, went too far, or not far enough. This is just reading the eyes of the quarterback. Because right here is Jaden Hicks' assignment, but he sees that's not where Kyler Murray is throwing to. Got to be someone behind me back here, but that ball is coming straight to me. So Jaden Hicks does a great job to pick that ball off, and again, just shows his instincts. And I really do think that Jaden Hicks has the ability to be a superstar safety. Maybe superstar is hyperbole a little bit, but he definitely has the chance to be a playmaker on this defense this season. I mean, we'll see what he can do as he continues to progress. He's just entering his second year in the league. But I really did like, for the most part, what we saw out of this defense. You look at Cochran, that he's not a starter on this team, so he is the backup. Saw that missed tackle. We saw Chamari Connor blow a coverage. Leo Chanel kind of blow a coverage as well. Didn't have the safety help, just needed to be a little bit deeper into that zone. But we saw what he saw on the film. So either way, I did like what I saw out of the Chiefs defense for the most part in their opening drive out of the starters. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought, what you guys saw out there. And like I said, hit that subscribe button on the road to 500. At the time of recording, we are 42 away. We are right there. Trying to hit that before the NFL season starts. We'll have more film breakdowns coming out. And the Chiefs are back in action tomorrow night in Seattle at 9 p.m. Arrowhead time. So I will catch you in the next film breakdown.